Good morning, everybody. Reverend Lynn, LaBorde here. I have something wrong with my right eye, so I didn't put my fancy little eyelashes on today. And I have to go to an eye doctor after I do this recording. But I welcome you all for being here, and I thank you for your love and your patience and your prayers. There's something on the inside of my eyelid, and when I take my contact out, it scratches my eye, so I had to leave my contacts in, which I don't normally do. But it's life. And I'm going to heal it, and it's going to be fine. So good morning to you from Virginia. Some very exciting news. I found a fabulous home to live in. I'll be moving in. I already took occupancy of it. It's a fabulous 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Virginia, in Portsmouth, Virginia. It's right on the river, and it's gorgeous. And there's an option to purchase. So my brother-in-law is a real estate attorney, and I'm going to have him draft up a contract for us, for both parties. So I'm very, very excited for that. Let's see. Okay, we're at lesson number 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. In these practice periods, begin with noting the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute, then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only the thoughts that you think are bad. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, that they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. That is why they do not mean anything. In selecting subjects for the application of today's idea, the usual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad. None of them are your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. The good ones, of which you are aware, are but shadows of what lies beyond. And shadows make sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat different forms. The aim here is to train you in the first steps towards the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is a first attempt in the long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside of you and the meaningful as within. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. In using your thoughts for application for the idea today, identify each thought by the central figure or event that it contains. For example, my thoughts about my eye do not mean anything. It is like the things that I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, so on. You can also use the idea for a particular thought which you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful, but is not a substitute for the more random procedures to be followed for the exercise. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute or so. You are too inexperienced as yet to avoid tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. Further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you may find the suspension of judgment in connection with thoughts particularly difficult. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. All right. I'll bring Magdalene through. Greetings, beloveds. It is our delight, excuse me. It is our delight to be with you. As you begin the process of paying attention to the thoughts that you are thinking, there is a sense of subjectivity that begins to be defragmented and dismantled. The objectivity of being able to realize that you have thoughts and that you are the one that is thinking them will begin to give you, one moment please, It will begin to give you the sense of objectivity that will be required for you to dismantle yourself from the egoic structure that you have immersed yourself into. All thoughts that have been assembled by you have been created in a way to do the function of the mind, the human mind, which is to protect the vessel. If you have an interaction with a being and a being makes a statement of you, about you, and you feel that there is a sense of validity to what is being communicated, you will then take that information on as a rule for yourself about the way that you are. Begin to pay attention to your thoughts, the random thoughts that meander through the mind, and allow yourselves the slight moment to be able to see them for what they are, which is thoughts. Thoughts that you have indeed applied meaning to. By truly understanding that your thoughts do not mean anything lest the power or the sense of weight that you have given to them, you will begin to see a sense of freedom in the thoughts that float by. Imagine them much like clouds as they wander through the chambers of your mind. Imagine that you are the blue sky and the sun that exists. And as these thoughts go by, they float by as your thoughts. Bring your heart to this process, beloveds, and you will find that it will become easier and easier for you as you begin to no longer identify yourself as the thoughts that you think, as you begin to see the meaninglessness of them as they make their way through your consciousness. You will then begin to see that you are no longer your thoughts. This may not have occurred to you in the first place. You may have been so unconscious about the thoughts that you think that you have truly believed that they were an aspect of you, that meant something about you and how you experienced life. They have indeed colored the way in which you have moved throughout your world, and they have indeed covered the truth of you. When you learn to untrain yourself from the mind that you have used and that you have relegated your power to, you will begin to see that the true mind with which you think is indeed the mind of God. And there you shall begin to find your freedom. We are delighted to be on this journey with you, beloveds. When you allow the thoughts that come from the heart to be superior to those that come from the mind, you will begin to find your sense of true north. You will begin to find your congruency, beloveds. Of this we are delighted. And we are here to assist you on this journey indeed. Come to a moment of stillness. Turn your attention to the thoughts that go by and allow yourselves to know that there is a process of thinking that has been ancient for you, that you are now beginning to dismantle. Know that we are with you on this journey, beloveds. Know that we are here to bring your consciousness back to its rightful place and back to its rightful owner. All blessings and love to you, dear ones. Enjoy your lesson today, knowing that the thoughts that you think truly do not mean anything. Keep your consciousness close to you in these beginning lessons, as they will make much more sense to you as you proceed. We thank you for your attention. Call upon us when needed, beloveds, and we will speak with you again. Thank you so much for being with me today. Let's see, there's a message. Oh, Vanka, good morning, my love. It's good to see you. Thank you guys for being here, and I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I'm going to get this eye taken care of, I promise. Goodbye, everybody. Have a beautiful day.